other people have resources, they have what you need, why would you turn them away?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
whether their resources are monetary or informative information,
Mhm.
I mean, they're teaching us something, and it's just like they don't want them in here because they know that we're learning,
Mhm.
and now that we are a learning, I always say this, and doing community, it's just like they got that knowledge. They don't want us to have that knowledge, but we have it.
Oh yeah.
Don't y'all sell y'all property? But because the ones who don't know about this or who think they're going to sell their property because of this freeway, like I say, if this freeway does come through, it'll be 40 years down the line somewhere. You know what? Go on and live. Let's continue to fight the good fight,
Mhm.
because again, as a woman, this is not for me what I do, but I believe for such a time as this, that God has set me in this place in Allendale to be a light. And that's what
Yes.
I'm going to be until he moves me from this place, So just like you always say, Jamila, I'm the one who likes to be in the background. I'll be serving, and I don't
Yes.
have to be out. I don't have to
No.
be out front.
Mm-mm.
Now for Najuri, I love her
Love,
out
we can
front.
put her out front.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know what? But it comes because of what I have learned. You
Yes.
know, I've been taught. So now I know how to use my voice. So
Yes.
again, a lot of us may not know how to use our voice because we haven't been taught what we need to
You can
say.
say yes.
So don't let people shut you down. And even if you're not using proper English, talk the way you talk. They
That's
understand
Right.
right.
for
Yes.
real.
Yes.
Talk that talk. Talk that
Yes.
talk and walk that walk.
Well, I think that's the same way you do, Miss Wiley. I was put in Allendale with Pomoja for a reason. That house had sit there for about, 10, 11 years before we even started working on it. We owned it. We owned that property, so it makes me feel really good because I even purchased that little 4 spaces in that strip mall that we renovated. I mean, I got mortgaged my house to buy it. So it could be an example for our community. I mean, I don't know how to
Right.
sit up and tell people this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to show you how it can go for all of us. We can buy things and fix it up in our own neighborhood together. We are a
Right.
nonprofit, 501c. You can use our 501c. All of us can use the Pomojas to get money, to do things, get buildings, everything else. We're 45 years old. We don't have any negative stripes against us. We just
Right.
have we just have assets that right now we don't really know how to use.
Yeah. And I think, and that's why I like the learning and doing community,
Mhm.
because you have to get knowledge first,
Yes.
right? You have
Yes.
to understand, what you're trying to do. So you go to the people that have done it. You go to the people that are trying to get it done. You go to all these different people and you learn to do it. Then you're ready, right? Because when you go back and you talk to your elders about things, your elders usually tell you, well, baby, this is what happened to me, right? Now, the smart person takes what happened to them, sit it to the side, and say, all right, I need to look out for this. And you talk
Mhm.
to another person, say, all right, this is what happened to them. I need to look out for this. So now
Mhm.
when you start on your journey and you see that, you're able to prepare for it, right? And
Right.
that's what I like about what Miss Dorothy always talks about, the learning and doing,
Mhm.
because knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power, but man, in the hand, knowledge in the hands of an intelligent person is just it's really powerful, right? I heard this saying. This girl, she talked about what time we live in. She said that we are in a time of Google, and we're in a time of information highways. And she said one thing that she teaches in to her community is to not drown on stupidity in a sea of knowledge. Don't drown on stupidity in a sea of knowledge, meaning take the knowledge you have and make sure that you interpret it right. Use your intelligence. What did Gloria call it? Your mother wit.
Yes.
Use your mother wit to put that knowledge and bring it together, right? And use it. Use it intelligently, right? People go on the internet and they look up all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, hold on. If you found this, then how did you miss the intelligent stuff? How did you miss the real knowledge? You found, you found Bill Gates putting microchips in the vaccine, but you never looked at how they made the vaccine. You never, you drowning on stupidity in a sea of knowledge.
Yep.
So that's why it warms my heart, and it also makes me feel as if our future in Shreveport is bright, because I'm talking to you three that are putting in action. You're doing something. You've done stuff, and you're still doing. And you're talking about keeping the fight up with your endurance. Because that's one thing women do have. Women have, y'all have endurance, right? Because my wife pushed my son out after 12 hours of labor. If that ain't endurance, she pushed a watermelon out of a sandwich bag. If that ain't endurance, I don't know what is.
Yes.
Ain't no man pushing no watermelon out of down there. Right now. We about to die from a kidney stone.
Yep.
So it makes me, I mean, just talking to y'all, makes me want to go out there. What was that movie, Down the Shield, for y'all? Because I was looking forward to this talk, and we're not finished. But I'm just gonna say this: I was looking forward to this talk because I know that all three of you all were inspirational, and I can't wait to put this out so other people can see it and feel inspired also. So thank you all. We're not finished yet. I just wanted to go ahead and put the flowers out there beforehand. But I want to continue to talk on getting other women in the community involved, getting other people, getting the female artists, getting the female that stays in Allendale Lakeside, led by the Heights, getting the other females that in the community that want or hear or know there's a problem, but are held back for any reason. I want to jump into that if anybody want to start it off on how to get more women into the movement.
One thing we need is some form of communications that's more than just in one area. Even in Allendale, where we are on Anna, the neighbors have never heard of anything. They don't know about the Allendale Neighborhood Association. They don't know anything about anything. There's no communications. There's no way of getting the information out. There's no radio. There's no TV commercials. There's nothing that tells our community about who we are and what we need. So I think one of those things is like I was talking to Ms. Kamara, Pamoja, we can get grants, and we're going to be getting a newsletter together. And Miss Dorothy Wiley, we want the Allendale Strong and the Allendale Neighborhood Association to help produce a newsletter for the community, and Pamoja can help finance it. And then we can find others that can help finance it. And there's a lot of women that's in the arts that we're involved with, like Nan White, she's been a member of Pamoja for 40 years. These women, or and them with Cedar Grove, and it's a lot of women, but it's all just like Tamara said, it's all divided and spread all over the city. It's just getting together and trusting each other and not having any fears. Because the little money that we get, we can't do anything with the little money. But if we put it together with everybody, we have something. We can produce something. So that's the way I feel that we can get things going. We need some kind of way to communicate.
And I believe, Mr. Bryan, as it relates to women and us joining forces regarding advocacy, you won't have a problem getting women in this city together around church. Okay, if they going to church, they going to sing, anything that's easy, anything that doesn't rock the boat, anything that's not seen as controversial, because one of the main mantras that you often hear in this community, you got to go along to get along, such that the people, if you are associated, affiliated, connected with certain people, certain groups, you got certain memberships that you're a part of and so forth and stuff, the constraints held by each, the differences of ideologies, it keeps us separated. It's so very difficult. I've tried across multiple, domains, to try to pull us women together. And again, the diversity of our ideologies keeps us separated, unfortunately. You got single women, you got married women, you got older women, you got younger women. It just got different things that they're interested in. Now, as to advocacy, people called into, that's something that you called to do. People don't pick to be an advocate. You've been picked on that made you turn out to be one. You've gone through something. Like I said, mine came from my children, from my small men children, and the various systems that I encountered. I wound up in a fight, an advocacy struggle. And so then that translates just to other things as well. But as to women, like Miss Dorothy and I, we've known each other a while. We communicated in the Allendale Strong circle. Miss Jamila, again, likewise. She said she came up from the Black Panther in the Muslim background. I'm Christian, but we still see things in terms of the reality of what our people need. Now, we've stayed connected, but it's difficult because it's not a whole bunch of women that are interested in the advocacy. If they are, they may have a husband or a significant other that tells them what? Shut it down. They don't want them to be involved with stuff with advocacy, because this community is the go along to get along community.
Well, and Kamara, I'm not a Muslim. I never have been.
Okay, I know you're Muslim. Okay.
And a lot of people, that's another reason why a lot of people don't come to promote you, because they think I'm a Muslim.
You got an Arab.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm. And we really just need to look at, and if you're a human being. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You are human. And that's what we need to stop looking at. We are human. Stop looking at what people were, because I was something in my past. If I was to bring
and
it
stop
up.
judging each other. We need to stop judging, because just because I wear a scarf does not make me a Muslim.
Right.
Why don't you say, that came from ancestral things.
Right. And the other thing is that I look at is that we just need to be able to, again, like you say, it's a form of communication, but how can we help another, because somebody might look and say, oh, she's just for Allendale, but I'm not. I'm
No.
for whatever helps build up our city. So maybe, like you say, a newsletter, that's a great idea. And let's just not have the newsletter for Allendale, Lakeside, or Ledbetter Heights. Let's have a newsletter that will reach women in their community. What are your
Yes.
needs in your community?
Yes.
And maybe that's how we can start pulling women from other communities together, because we are the strength of our communities. Not putting any man down or anything, but I've had women to call me from other communities and say, how did you do that? Or how can we get to this place? And I'll say, well, what neighborhood association are you up under, or what district are you up under? But again, we got to help each other by putting, let's just not just put us back and say, how can I help you?
Yes.
Let's put ourselves out there. How can I help you? What is it that your community needs that you've been looking for? And I think that be a way of bringing other women in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And it's hard, we talked about the restraints of people in communities. In the last podcast, we talked about a lot of times the financial is one of those things when you don't have the resources and you're fighting and struggling for the resource to take care of home. A lot of times you're not thinking about nothing else, right? You just man, I got to pay my bill.
Yep.
I can't go do this because I got to go to my other job. Man, I can't worry about that because my car just broke down. Man, hey, if they put an interstate through here, it's whatever. I just find me another place to go, right? And it becomes where poverty. I remember watching this thing that said poverty. What poverty does a lot of times is it turns people single-mindedly. I mean, it turns people into single-minded beings. Meaning all they're thinking about is survival.
Right.
I can't think about anything else because everything that I'm thinking about, I gotta feed my kids, I gotta pay my rent, I gotta pay my mortgage. They're gonna foreclose on my house, they're gonna take my car, right? I can't think past that. And women have always been known as looking out for everybody else, looking out for their husband, looking out for the child, looking out for, and a lot of times not even looking out for herself. And that's where I see a lot of women become, like you said, Miss Camara, they become advocates when they have been hurt. They have been forced into advocacy a lot of times. But that's not a bad thing because you need something to light your fire. Because we get stuck. Go ahead.
And it's something that you said that, Roosevelt, because just last week we had a funeral over here, one of a very young man who was murdered by a drive-by. And when I went to visit his mother, and you're so right, she's being forced into advocacy because she said, I'll be the one who will be advocating for crime in this community, or just crime, period. Gun violence. She said, I'll be that one. And it's a shame that we have to be forced to do things. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes that's the measure that has to be taken, And even with that, I mean, we could take these people because in each of us, a gift has been given. I might can't do what Jamila does or what Najuri does, but I can do my part. You know, what am I good at doing? Then once all of us come together, we have all these gifts together that will come into one big thing to do what we need to do in our city, because we've gone out and again, Jamila, we've advocated Najuri to get these people in to do newsletter, and they don't have to look like me. They don't have to be Black or brown. They can be Anglo-Saxon or, you know, bring other races in, because we're all one in God's eyes anyway, you know, and let's do this. This could be a movement right here for women in the city.
Yes,
Definitely.
So let's do it.
absolutely.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. So we do have to stop at some point.
Yeah.
And we can't go all day, you know, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and kind of shut it down right here. But before we shut it down, I'm gonna come back to you, Miss Camara, and you, Miss Elamine. I want you to talk about what you guys have coming up. Miss Camara, you did talk about your event. Can you bring it up one more time? The event that is coming up.
Yes, sir. That event is scheduled for Sunday morning, April the 25th. It will be the last Sunday of April. It's called a Sunday morning Justice and Unity Social. Our expectation is to have representatives of the judiciary to be there to make affirmations about the need for social justice and unity in our community. We have invited our mayor to speak, to do a call to action for just say worship service, but it's really a coming together for unity and harmony. That's all that it is for our community,
Okay,
to say we agree.
you actually froze up there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For it's all good. It's all good. I know you talked about it earlier. You gave us a date. Yeah, can you go ahead
Yeah.
and repeat the date, the
Date.
time, and place?
Yes, sir. The date is Sunday, April the 25th, from 10 a.m. in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just a community justice and unity celebration. We're going to be singing. We've got all different types of people, from the Louisiana Hayride, the Golden Girls, to gospel, to spoken word. It's just an open mic for folks to come and express their affirmation for the need for social justice and unity in our community, and then lunch. It's just that simple.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, Miss Elamine, can you tell us?
1100
Go
Texas
ahead,
Avenue.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, 1100 Texas Avenue.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Miss Elamine, can you tell us a little bit more about Pomoja House and where they can find your information at?
Okay, Pomoja's house is located at 1960 Anna Street. We intend to have an open house to demonstrate some of the techniques about eco-friendly and sustainable materials and how to go about doing things in our community. So the date has not been set yet, but it's going to be sometime in May. So I'll have to let you know, keep you abreast of what's going to happen.
All right, all right. Well, Miss Wiley, you have one last thing to say?
Well, I just want to first say thank you for having our guest on today, Miss Jamila Elamine and Miss Najuri Kamara. And I just want to let you all know that we have our meetings every second Thursday of each month via Zoom. So please join us. I have definitely enjoyed this podcast. Roosevelt, Thank you so much. You are such a great director. You guys have a blessed week.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for being a part of today's podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Allendale Strong podcast. You can find us on YouTube, RDB_on. You can also go to the Facebook page of Allendale Strong. You can also for friends at Allendale Strong. You can also go to our Instagram page and our Twitter feed. Please go to John Perkins' Facebook page and Twitter feed and give him a get well soon wishes. Mr. Perkins, I know, is going to be listening and watching, so we want you to get well soon, Mr. Perkins. But I also want to say, if you want to donate to any of the organizations, we're going to put the places to donate for Allendale Strong, Pomoja House, and probably even the association. We're going to have that information below. Also, please like and subscribe to the podcast. Check us out. We're trying to put something out at least twice a week, the interview podcast, and we're going to start doing shorts that's going to give people just a smaller little chunk of what we're doing in the podcast. Please get involved with these communities. Please, like I said, please try to get involved and be a part of what we're trying to do in Shreveport. If you're listening anywhere else, get involved where you're at, right? Be an advocate for the people where you at. So, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank everybody for listening. Thank you, and have a great day.